And that thing gotta be hard, it's gonna be real. It ain't gonna be hard. That's right, it's gonna be real. That's right, it ain't gonna be hard. Exactly, I'm trying to show that how. That's good too. But we gonna hit him and we gonna hit him free. If we get the hand of that, he'll swap that for, but I take the 3-for-1. But there ain't nothing on them. I let you
James Turner for the untouchable True School Sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so this is in fact a special report here on True School Sports. I'm really excited to talk about this because you guys know, I sit here, I come on here many videos. I make many videos about fighters. If I'm being 100% blunt, honest with you guys, I don't give a fuck about some of these fighters that you guys want me to talk about, but I talk about them because that's part of the job. That's being a professional. That's being a man of the people. But this is something that I actually want to talk about, and I think it's a very good story. I think it's a good story for the middleweight division. I think it's a good story for American boxing, and I think this is something that people have to look out for because the middleweight division. Let's have it right, guys. The middleweight division, as we know, guys, it sucks. It's not a good division. It's not a very good division at all. There's not a lot of upper echelon talent, so to speak, in this division. Johnny Beck's got 2 of the titles right now, but he's not really trying to fight anyone. He's like he wants to hide behind being the boogeyman, and who knows him and Carlos Adames fight. You got Adames with the belts. He's a good fighter, but he's there. Arizona Lara, he's there, right? So it's a division that it's really lacking a lot. But have no fear. Have no fear, ladies and gentlemen. Paterson, New Jersey is here. Pensacola, Florida is here. Yes, Ian Green is here. And Ian Green, one of the top middleweight contenders in the world in the WBA. And I really think, guys, one of the best middleweights out there. And I've been saying this for a while. He's finally got some motion in his career. It was reported by Boxing Scene yesterday. But really, I knew this before Boxing Scene because I talked to Ian. But Ian Green is training with Roy Jones Jr. Oh my God, he's training with Roy Jones Jr. And Roy's trained some guys. We know Roy's trained Chris Eubank. We know Roy's trained like Kevin Newman, right? He's trained some guys. But I'll be honest with you guys. In my time watching boxing, from what I know, as far as dedication, as far as talent, as far as discipline, as far as hunger, I don't think Roy Jones Jr. has ever been blessed to have a fighter with a combination of those things until right now, and that comes in the form of Ian Green. Factor in, guys. Now we'll get into the Roy Jones Jr. Ian Green training situation. We'll get into like Ian Green and Roy's and that in the middleweight division. But also, just to put on top of all this, he also signed a management deal with Napper. Was it Nova Sport? The guy Napper, the big black British dude who denied Billy Joe Saunders entrance into Chris Eubank's locker room, right? He's a prominent manager in the business. I know Elliot. His name's Elliot. Elliot is a guy that knows how to make opportunities happen for his fighters. He got Tevin Farmer a lot of big fights. He's gotten Chris Eubank a lot of big fights. He's got Renee Talise Garon, some great opportunities. So he's got a lot of guys, great opportunities. And I think he'll do the same thing for Ian Green. And I think Ian Green's gonna shock a lot of people in boxing. Ian Green, the reason now people may say, BT, why are you so high on Ian Green? I'm gonna tell you guys why I'm high on Ian Green, because I didn't know who the hell Ian Green was until 2022. And how did I find out about Ian Green? I found out about Ian Green because I was doing my job. I was covering boxing. I was covering like these Don King shows that nobody in the boxing media cares about. They think they're like jokes to cover because Don King in 2025, he's not really moving the needle as a promoter like he used to, right? And the production's very old and outdated, and it's kind of looked at as a joke, right? But I like those shows because, believe it or not, a lot of those cards are fun. They're pretty well matched, and you find some gems on those cards. And Ian Green was a gem that I found on one of these dusty old Don King cards. He fought a guy named Alex Castro from Colombia, who was a fellow undefeated middleweight. And it was one of the best fights I've been to in the last couple of years. It's actually the only full version that people can access to this fight, believe it or not, is here on True School Sports. For some reason, I recorded the whole fight. I don't know why I did, but I did. And Ian Green was in the pocket that fight, and he showed his balls and his heart that night. And had it been on a big platform, he would have got more fanfare for that fight. So go check that out if you haven't already. But that fight was really good, and I enjoyed that fight. He then knocked out Vaughn Alexander. When Vaughn Alexander, we know he's giving guys tough fights. He gave Johnny Beck a tough fight. And Vaughn had a full training camp. A lot of times when Vaughn Alexander loses fights, Vaughn does not get a full training camp. So Ian knocked Vaughn Alexander out. He had that fight with Castro. And then even if you go back earlier in his career, he upset, not upset, but he beat undefeated Tyler Howard. And he's had an interesting career. But I think he's reached a stage of maturity now where he's ready to fight on that next level. He's always had the skills to fight on the next level, but he's physically mature to fight on the next level. He's mentally mature to fight on the next level. And now, like I always tell you guys, when it comes to this boxing shit, like, a fighter is only as good as his team. So you could have all the skills in the world as a fighter, but if you don't have the right manager making the right moves for you at the right time, it ain't going to happen for you. If you don't got a trainer who's all in like you're all in, it ain't going to happen for you. And I think, like I was saying, for the first time in Ian Green's career, he really has a full team behind him of people that know what they're doing. And, people that are going to help him get better in his career. So, listen, when I think about Ian Green against the likes of Adames, the likes of Yohan Elise Hernandez, the likes of Johnny Beck, just all them top guys that you guys know in the middleweight division, I think the best Ian Green is more than good enough to beat any of those guys and go on to become world champion. And I've thought that ever since I've seen him fight for the first time ringside against Alexander Castro, when I got a glimpse into who he was. Because when you watch these fighters fight, it's one thing to see their skills, but when you see them in the kind of fight that he was in against Alexander Castro, you get a glimpse into what's in the man's soul. And so I got a glimpse into what was in the man's soul, and I know a lot about him, like as far as his career, because I've gotten to know him. And he's been in there with some of the best fighters in the world. He now needs the opportunity to show what he can do. And I believe when the time comes, he will show what he can do, because now he has the people to show him what he can do. And look, I think Roy Jones Jr. is being blessed right now. Honestly, I really believe that. I think they're both equally blessed. Ian is blessed to learn and soak up the knowledge for somebody who's as smart and as successful as Roy Jones Jr. was. And Roy Jones Jr. is being blessed with somebody who's as hungry, as dedicated, and as skilled, and as now matured as Ian Green. So I really think for Roy Jones Jr., the trainer, not the fighter, not the commentator, not the promoter, but Roy Jones Jr., the trainer, I think this is going to be a match made in heaven. And I think he's going to produce a world champion here. I really believe that. So I'm excited about it. If you guys want to know what I'm most excited about in this middleweight division, I'll tell you one thing right now. It damn sure ain't no Johnny Beck. It ain't Adames. And it damn sure ain't no Lara. And it's not Yohan Elise Hernandez. It is my boy Ian Green. Linking up with Roy Jones Jr., getting guidance from Roy Jones Jr. in the corner. And now you're going to have, Elliot Napper, running his career from the management side. So it's beautiful to see, man, because a lot of times with these fighters come from nothing. They come from the trenches. They come from the sticks, right? They come from just hard backgrounds. And they're not, a lot of these guys don't know what the fuck they're getting into when they get into boxing. And they make the wrong decisions in their career. And sometimes one wrong decision could cost you your whole career. And I'm just glad to see Ian Green now. I feel like for the first time in his career, he's going to get a fair shake and a crack at glory. And that's all we can ask for. We can't ask for to become champion or our dreams to come true, but we can always ask for the opportunity, and then it's up to us in life to put in the work to make our own dreams happen. Destiny's in our hands and in God's hands. So, yeah, that's the news, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on The Untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this, make sure you guys stay tuned and subscribe. You won't be disappointed.